Hey now, today I am just going to do a quick video on attempting to make a spicier than normal Capicola. You can check out my video on prepping Capicola for dry aging, and you can see some of the earlier steps that I did with this. So essentially what I did is I took these copa mussels and rubbed them in this hot pepper paste and with cure and salt and whatnot, and let them sit. These ones actually had probably about 45 days, which was longer than they needed time-wise, but I was really trying to let that hot pepper paste absorb. You can see this here is what the copa looked like after I gave it just a solid rinse off. Now with this one here, I've already taken a bunch of this pepper paste and rubbed it on. I'm going to quickly do that with this one here as well, and then I'm going to be adding some crushed chili flakes. We'll see what that looks like. So you can see when I am getting this in here, I'm really giving it a good rub. I'm trying to kind of get into the nooks and crannies. I don't want to open up any big gaps or anything like that, because that could just cause some possible issues for mold growth if there's air pockets or whatever. But I'm really just going to give this a solid rub here, flip it around, make sure everything has just a nice light coating of this pepper paste, which, as you can imagine, is difficult to do with one hand while attempting to shoot this. So I'll finish this up. All right, so you can see these all have a nice little rub on them. I'm just going to use some of these red pepper flakes. I don't know what this is going to do heat-wise, if this is going to make a substantial difference or not. I really do like the original Capicola that I do. So if you see the video on that, it is pretty solid. But I'm just trying to experiment here to see if we can get a bit more of a kick to it. So just getting these chili flakes on here. I'll do the same thing with the other one here, and then it's going to be time to get these in the pasted hog skins. Just bear with me a second, and we can get that done. Oh yeah. A little bit more. Okay. It'd be super cool to see what sort of effect these might possibly have. So for our next phase here, I'll just show you the tools that I've got. So I've got some nice wide netting, and that's how we're going to hang the meat in the curing chamber. I've got a little piece of string because I'm just going to attach the label, which I'll write on this super fancy painter's tape. I'm going to use 1/2-inch hog rings just to seal up the the netting after the meat's wrapped in the collagen casing. I've got some vinegar that I'll use just to spray stuff down and kind of prevent any initial mold growth. Hog ring pliers, and then a sausage pricker that I'll use on the collagen casing just to help eliminate any possible air pockets. And of course a pair of scissors, which we're about to use. So I'm just going to take the first one, get it onto my pasted hog skin here. I'll now ditch off this ooey gooey glove. And now get this all wrapped up. Make sure I don't have anything on there. I like this pasted hog skin. I use either these or collagen sheets when I go ahead and wrap meat for long dry aging like this. Sweet, okay. So I'm just gonna do my best to kind of get it as nice and tight as possible to the actual meat here. You can see I've got some definite excess. I'm gonna just cut off a little bit of that. Not too much, because I don't want to risk accidentally stripping it off and leaving gaps. As you can see, I've got like almost a 3-inch overlap there. I'll take off just a little bit of this end here, just a touch of this end, while I'm in the cutting mood, like that. Awesome. So that's going to work well. I will take a sausage pricker to this just a little bit if it looks like there's going to be some air pockets at all, just to help it cling tighter. And now it is time for the netting. I'll just get this stretched out and we'll be back in a second. Okay, so I just quickly got the second one, that larger one actually, ready to go here as well. So I'm going to get the netting and just get it all stretched out here so that it's kind of ready to go. So I can fold it over. Now this is the fun part of just kind of rolling it down over top of the meat. Just like that. This netting will kind of help keep things in a decent shape, and it's also going to be holding the weight of this while it is hanging. Okay, awesome. So there's number one. I'll quickly do the second one here while I'm at it. And just slide that down and over. Like so. Beauty. Okay. Let's do that. And I mean, looking at this, like I was thinking, yeah, I might use the sausage pricker like right there. A couple of little spots. And flipping it around here. Taking a peek at the second one. Hear the dishwasher going? And there we go. All right, so now just to kind of seal these up here, I'm going to kind of twist them and then just use a hog ring. Get that on there. Super glad that I finally got these 1/2-inch hog rings. Remember to pick them up. They work really well for this. I used to sit there and kind of tie these together, which was a bit of a hassle, so this is for sure easier. All right, so I'm gonna get these set up like this, and then it is time to weigh them out. Okay, here we are. I just trimmed off a little bit of that netting and then tied a little string onto it, and I have my original and my target weights. That's with a 40% weight loss. So it is time to get to the curing chamber, get these sprayed down and hung up in there. All right, so now I'm just going to do my final step, which is just spraying stuff down with some vinegar. And my reason and rationale behind that is just any contact that this stuff may have come into with any sort of mold spores or whatever floating around, life and in the house during this will not enjoy having contact with this. And later on I am going to add some actual white mold to this intentionally, but for now this is just going to wipe the slate clean for me. So, to get them into the chamber now, crack that open. Get these hooks through here, and then just get it tucked back in there. There we go. Get the second one in too. Just like so. I'm leaving a little room here because I have some more stuff I'm going to hang in here today, but yeah, there we are. And we'll let those go for probably 2 months before I even bother to try to check out the weight on them. All right, so full disclosure, I totally forgot to film removing the the Capicola from the curing chamber. However, it hit 40% weight loss, and I went ahead and vacuum sealed both of these copas here so that they can equalize. So I'll probably let them hang out like that for a couple of months just to make sure that they are as even as possible on the inside. So this waiting is truly the hardest part. All right, here we go. So it had a couple of months equalizing. You can see I already kind of cut into it, but that's just to flatten it out here so that I can do some nice slicing. So I'm just going to use my Avantco slicer here, and I'm just going to go up to the 0.5 setting on this and try and rip off some slices here to see what we're looking at. Ooh, maybe even a little bit thinner. Just like that. You see how thin that's coming off there? You can kind of see right through it. That's beautiful. I'm gonna slice up a bunch more of it here and then we will have a little taste. Oh my, this Capicola is an absolute joy. It's such an interesting juxtaposition because this meat is just so delicate and tender and almost buttery when you eat it. And then you have that like really robust flavor from the pepper paste that was on it. And then also a really nice heat coming out of those chili flakes that went on there. I think the only thing I would potentially change, attempting to make spicy Capicola next time, would be to add some pepper, some more pepper flakes during the curing, initial curing process, and that might just kick that up just a touch. But either way, I'm extremely pleased. This is going to go amazing on charcuterie boards, on pizzas, on all kinds of stuff. So extremely happy with this. I highly recommend giving it a go. So until next time, keep her at 11.